2022年北京冬奥会中国女子冰球队的经理成员。他曾经穿过这个特别酷的那个龙裤剧，就是成为这个中国女冰队的成员。我刚才听到我们有2位 speaker， 一个喜欢打 hockey， 一个喜欢滑雪。我相信你们会特别喜欢他讲的话题。所以就是我们现在还在评审当中，应该在3月底就可以公布所有的 final speaker 的名单。那么也非常欢迎大家在6月25号的时候呢，到 Granville Island Arts Umbrella 的新的 theater 来观看我们有差不多20位非常精彩的这个 speaker 的一个 event。好。
There were many compliments in there, but also many insults. Some of which I told them about. And they thought that was great. So they're like, I'm gonna tell everyone about that. Yeah, good work on your speech. Yeah, how's it feel? And who's just speaking a little faster than normal? And that's how we're getting your zone in. And then in the future, like then we will be like, let's go. Let's go. Everything's still clear. So nice to know. Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure you had the words pretty much the exact same from the video I saw. So nice memorization. I mean, from my question, that was the same. So you've seen So I look at Mr. Beast. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's a good thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. I never know. Seconds left on the break. 30 seconds. What? How do I know? Because I've been trained. All right, find your seats, enter conversations, and get ready to resume. Please put your cell phones back on silence, because if you don't, I'll answer the phone call. And as Alan said, I can be a little bit more enthusiastic than most people expect. So me answering your phone calls would be a very interesting moment for you. So without further ado, I would like to call Alan. That's not Alan. That's Charlie. You're Charlie, right? Still? Yeah, cool. So am I do think we're still missing a couple people. So our next speaker is Roy. So that's fine because Roy's here. So thanks, Roy, for being back on time. Nice time. All right, Charlie, take it away. Come on up.
Our next speaker is Roy. The speech is titled Ranch, the superfood of our generation. Ranch, the superfood of our generation. Let's welcome up Roy.
All right. For as advanced as our civilization has come, we've always had critical flaws in it, namely food, water, and shelter. Because if we don't have those things, we are. But since these things are so important to our society and living, we've come to develop many forms to keep it in check and keep a constant supply of it. From the simple potato to a strange man's pineapple recipe, we've come up with many different solutions. But as because humans, we always keep arguing on what is the best one to eat. Well, today, my name is Roy. I'll be presenting you the logical answer to that question. So first, if science has ever taught me anything at all, it is to always look back on former data to make new predictions. So what foods do people like? But many people have many different suggestions. Clam chowder, spring rolls, ham on toast, yes, and many, many more. But what do these things all have in common? Their variety. One of the things I forgot to mention is chips, one of the biggest industries in today's world. They subsist on so many different varieties that it is uncountable. Here, let me give you some. Barbecue, old season, just plain, lightly salted. There are so many more. I once found a cucumber flavor one. That's something I won't forget. But they also have their flaws, namely that chips are oily, unhealthy, and really, not good to eat like this. So why can we conclude this? We can, from this, find some better methods and better foods. This is where ranch comes in. Ranch is amazing because it's actually a sauce, and it comes in all of this salty and flavoring that is amazing. And since it's a sauce, you can add it to virtually anything. Why would you add virtually anything? What people like variety, as we've established before. Or a lot of the industries are here because they have so many things to them, and two, it helps raise people's morale. If you keep something plain, then people are just gonna start getting bored, and consume becomes a part of life. If you only have 5 flavors, you only have 5 flavors. But if you add more flavors to it, it becomes exponentially many. You could add 5 flavors, combine 3 flavors, however many. Ranch is good because you can add it to anything at all. I tried it on strawberries, French fries, even salads. It's delicious on basically anything because of its amazing flavor. What's more is that it's even healthier. It was originally made for salads and stuff. Think about this: if you have a French fry that is exponentially healthier, why wouldn't you eat it? This is why ranch dressing is amazing, because you can put it on salads and it will still taste great. So from this conclusion, you can tell. Right. So from this, we've established how ranch is one of the best foods because of its amazing variety and how healthy it is. Thank you for bearing with me.
Next time, if you want to go to a restaurant with Roy, don't get ranch. You're probably going to run out, and the entire restaurant's going to be probably. Our next speaker is Kareem. His speech is titled Pizza. No, pizza was made for sloppy. Pizza was made for sloppy. Kareem.
hurt much if you actually decide to stop something. The second reason is that the creator of pizza thought of a very clever idea. If they were going to invent a food that will be adored by a lot of people, they may as well add some different uses to it. The third reason is more of an example than a reason. So, back in the 1900s, when pizza was just a new food, one man who pizza was served to was in a very bad mood and accidentally hit someone with the pizza. The fourth reason is something you definitely should not try. But at least it is a still pretty funny reason. So, for example, you're eating pizza, and then someone, like my public speaking teacher here, was showering you with very, very bad puns. And you really wanted to stop them because you got a little bit annoyed. But then they couldn't stop. So what do you stop them with? Of course, you stop them with pizza. You just stop them with pizza. In conclusion, these are the four main reasons why pizza is made for savvy people. First, pizza is a slightly savvy food that doesn't hurt much if you actually decide to stop a person with pizza. Second of all, the creator of pizza thought of a brilliant idea. Third of all, it is part of our history. And fourth of all, you can stop a black person with it. Back to you.
I just don't know what to say. Just maybe if you're just don't mix angry Korean and Korean eating pizza at the same time. Or nothing will do. I guess that's all you can do. And our next speaker is Teresa. Her speech is titled "The Dangers of Snowboarding." Dangers of Snowboarding, Teresa.
Keep moving till she gets there.
If you are alive and breathing, which you hopefully are, you've probably played a sport before. It could be volleyball, basketball, soccer, or many more. And among those lists of sports that you played, there could be snowboarding or skiing. In case you don't know, snowboarding or skiing is a very popular winter sport. I'll be using snowboarding as an example. Snowboarding, as you can see from the name, is done on a snowy mountain, and it's done on a snowy surface, usually on a mountain. Participant goes down a path on one board, and with their dominant foot is forward, like this, and to move comfortably, they move their body weight from side to side, and and while their chest still faces parallel to the surface. It may seem like a fun sport, but there are many dangers to it, and one of them is you could get a cold very easily. People get cold from a virus that goes into your body from your eyes, mouth, or nose. When you're cold, the cold reduces the immune response, and it makes your body weaker, making it harder to fight the germs. So technically, in shorter terms, when you get a cold, you get a cold. Get it? No? Okay. It is very difficult. No, it is not a good time to get a cold, especially because there's COVID. There's COVID and there's you being sick. People automatically assume that you have COVID. And then you have to get a test, and then you have to get a test, and then you have to stay alone for 2 weeks. So if you like socializing, that is not the best time for you. Another reason is that you may get injured. If you've never done a sport before, you've obviously gotten injured, and it's a part of learning. But for snowboarding, you could get severely injured, or you could even die. According to Google, there are approximately 24 people that have died from skiing or snowboarding. 24 out to you, but it's 24 people per year, meaning that numbers of people can increase a lot, and you will never know how much it can increase. And when you get injured on snowboarding, unless you're with a family or with friends, people don't usually notice that you're injured or just there, because there are people snowboarding down really fast and you can't really see you. So it's hard to get first aid or try to find people for help. You could say, oh, just use a phone to contact someone. But what if you're a child or your phone died because of the cold? And you can't really get to the first aid without skiing down. And since you're injured, it's going to be hard for you to snowboard or ski down. In conclusion, skiing or snowboarding is a very fun sport. You can learn a lot from it, and it's very exciting. But there are many dangers to it. And for example, you can get a cold, and you can get injured, and you can't really get help without actually trying to. In conclusion, skiing or snowboarding is a very fun sport, but it's dangerous and for many reasons. You can get a cold easily, and since there's COVID, people will assume they have COVID. And also you can get injured and people won't really notice you.
Thank you, Teresa, for that very cautious speech. Our next speaker is Jasper. The speech is titled, "The Moon Landing is a Lie." The moon landing is a lie. Jasper.
When I say to think about the moon, what do you think of? Some people might think of the moon landing. And what if I told you that you lied to? What if I told you that everything that you learned was a lie? That everything that teachers have taught you, they're fools. Everything they taught you, everything they teach you, it's fake. And the moon landing, especially, it's a lie. So first of all, let's say you search up the moon lander on Google, and it shows you with the moon lander, obviously. And what does it look like? And when you first look at the bottom, it might look really strange. It's just a box with foil around it, and you can easily recreate it. What if you just put a cardboard box, and you just wrap it around in foil that looks like gold, and you put some random tubes on the side, maybe toilet paper tube, and you just recreate it. And obviously, that's the bottom. And it's so obvious that it's good that people believe it. And what about the top? What about the top half? That might look more complicated. Well, it's also pretty easy. It might be harder. You might need more tools. You might need metal, but you can easily recreate it. Just paint it, bend some metal. So, and another part is that astronauts, when they walk on the surface of the moon, it might look like it seems like you're on the bottom of the pool. If you weigh a person down to the bottom of the pool, and if you jump up, and then they might just glide down a bit, and they'll slowly fall down, and it can recreate the gravity of the moon. So that's a really obvious thing too. So what if you just go to the bottom of the pool and walk around the bottom, and you can just replace the background, the moon on the bottom, and the sky on the top. And that's a really easy way. And a really weird thing is that if they supposedly did the moon landing in the late 1900s, why aren't we doing anything now? And we aren't doing any of the moon landings now, then why were we doing it back before? So what have we learned today? So the moon landing was fake, and you can easily recreate it with a box. A box at the bottom, gold foil, and then you can recreate it with metal on top, some paint, and you can easily recreate the lander. And when you look at this people walking on the moon, it looks like the gravity is kind of like the bottom of the pool. You can jump up and you float down. So you can easily recreate that. And lastly, why do we do moon landing? Why don't we do moon landing now when we did it before? So don't trust anything that I said, but the moon landing is fake. Back to you.
Ask for a self-contradictory speech. Next speaker is May. The speech is titled "The Role Schools Should Play in Building Relationships." The role schools should play in building relationships. Let's look at May.
There's a lot of things that school teaches, and for many years it's always been the same things, such as math, English, science, etc. And well, to be honest, I think school should teach us about other things, so it can benefit us not only in our learnings, in our IQs, and it can also benefit us in our daily lives. School should really teach us about relationships. And that being said, I'm not really good at keeping a relationship going. Because this one time, my mom just had a conversation with me about how to, the importance of honesty. And the next day, I went to school, and my class came up to me and asked, look at this dress I wore, like, did it look good? And after a moment of silence, I responded, it looks horrible, do not wear it again. And you can see that our relationship ended right there. So I think school should really teach us in relationships and how to deal with situations like I was just using. So first, we can have like lessons, like such as how to start a relationship and how to maintain relationships. And it can be any relationship, actually. It can be love relationships, family relationships, and friend relationships. Whatever you say might determine if the relationship can keep going or not. And learning about relationships can really benefit us in later lives, because stepping into society, you'll face a lot of people every day, and it's important to have a good relationship. And in conclusion, I think we should really learn relationships in school to help us to know what to say in a relationship and to benefit us.
I can agree that friendships are very important. And I can say I'm not the best. Yes, having schools teach us will help me a lot if they tell us. Our next speaker will be Justin. Is the straw on one hole or two? Who cares? Is the straw on one hole or two? Who cares? Justin.
How many times in your life have you argued with someone? Whether it's your parents, your siblings, or your friends? Well, personally, I can count them because obviously you've argued a lot in your life. And how many of these do you actually remember? How many of these impacted your personal life? How many of these are just nonsense, things that we shouldn't even be arguing about? Like, for example, whether pineapple on pizza is disgusting or not, or how many more doors or wheels are there in the universe? Do we really have to be arguing about these things? Well, sometimes we can't help ourselves. And this is one example of when I had a very, very dumb argument.
So it was this Saturday calm evening, and my brother and I just came back from our respective courses. We were in the kitchen, skilling food from the fridge as always, and we were talking about how our courses went. When my brother comes up with this question, how many holes does a straw really have? And I stared at him, and then I paused. And then I thought, is this really a good question to be arguing about? Does it really matter whether a hole has whether a straw has one hole or two? Will I be able to use this information in the future in a trivia quiz where you're going to be asking how many holes does a straw have? And I'd be the only one to answer correctly? Well, not really. But as the competitive person I am, I still decided to put out my opinion. And so I said, there's obviously one hole. If you look at it, it's a cylinder with a hole in it. But my brother said there was two. And here comes the problem. When you have competitive siblings, you can see what happens when there's an argument. And so we started rambling, and at some point we even started saying nonsense. It didn't even make sense. We had nothing to base off of our arguments on. And we were still arguing because we're competitive. And competitive siblings want to win. They want to win this argument. They want to be right. But sometimes they're not. And this time, obviously, one side has to be wrong, whether it's me or my brother. But none of us really wanted to lose. So evening soon came to nighttime, and we were about to have supper soon. So I was like, since this argument is so dumb, shouldn't I just go? So I darted to my room and locked the door, and I went to my trusted Google on my phone and searched the answer up because, hey, I should have used my brain earlier. Why didn't I use my phone? So I used my phone to search up the answer, and boom, the conflict is over. In the end, did I really learn anything from this argument? Well, yes. I learned that there are some things that you should just not argue about because it's much simpler and much faster to search them online. In the end, we still resolved our problem, but it could have been solved very fast.
Thank you, Justin, for that very entertaining speech. Following speakers, you'll be hearing will be speaking online. So you have to projector on. Please don't turn on any phones. The projector will be on, and you just watch them. They're inanimate because they're videos. Sure.
I think the speakers are still alive. They're not inanimate, but these are recordings, if that's what
Yeah,
yeah, okay, good.
yeah. So next people will be Mira. The speeches. Wait, next speaker is Mira. Our next speaker is Mira. The speech is titled Lord of the Rings, One Series to Rule Them All. Lord of the Rings, One Series to Rule Them All. Mira.
Books can bring us home, and it can also bring us joy. Books are a great thing. They can take us into different worlds. For example, worlds of history, where you can study the World War, or in fantasy, where you can see American zombies. My favorite world and my favorite book series is the World of History. There are 3 books in total here. The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. The story is about the Hobbit and Frodo who goes on a journey to take the ring with him and destroy it before the rings leave the world. And to do so, he must play in one too. On the way, his journey is not easy. There are many monsters who attack him. People who trick him, and others who try to cause him to him. And it's very hard for him to heal and take the ring. But he also gained companions and friends to help him achieve his goal. So there are 2 reasons why I like this book. The first one being, the book has really good literary devices and really good writing. The author used a lot of imagery words to show us exactly what he's talking about, and we can keep up with the scene and really imagine ourselves in the world. The second one being, the book has really good themes, displays love and friendship, and tells us that we should not give up even if we're going through hard times. In conclusion, I really like the book Lord of the because it has good writing, and it also tells us that no matter how hard life is, we can always keep going.
I have watched the Lord of the Rings movie. I haven't read the book yet. And I've heard that the book is better than the movie, so I'm going to make sure that I definitely do. Our next speaker, the speech is titled, Why the Future Deserves a Vote. Why the Future Deserves a Vote.
People under the age of 18 and people who are not adults are not allowed to vote, meaning that they cannot participate in any political discussion at all. And for once, I thought this was fair. I thought that once you turn 18, something great will happen to your mind and you'll be a completely different person. But then I realized that there really wasn't a difference. And ever since you're 14, your mind stays about the same. So what do we allow these young people to vote? To take part in this major decision? Well, here are my three main points on why I think people under the age of 14 should also vote, under the age of 14. So my first point is that teens are often less biased because they go to schools. And in schools, they don't tell you this is very right and this is very wrong. They give you a bunch of information saying that this is right, but it also has a downsides. While adults, after the age of 20, their minds be a lot more polarized. They have very strong decisions and very impulsive ones too. My second point is that why are we expected to follow the rules if we can't make them? Why are we expected to know what is good about a world leader when we don't actually know them? That's like me asking you to eat a cookie, but not telling you the ingredients there. That's not fair because it could be poison, but it can also be something very good for me and I wouldn't know. So, but if they would let us be part of this vote, then it gives me benefits because then we know if it's good and if it's bad. And in the future, if you want to be a politician myself, we know which decisions to make. And my last point, but one of the most important points, is that we will be one day building this world. And in the future, we might be one of the politicians like I mentioned. So it would be very fair if we just go right now and we can look more into it before we go to school. It can actually help them with social studies. And additionally, many people say that children, you guys don't have any responsibilities. But in some ways, if you look at it, it's also a positive point. Because that means they have more time to come into the voting system. So in conclusion, I think the voting system currently is quite unfair. Because we should also allow teens to have the same chance, because they're less biased, we expect them to follow the rules when they can't make them. And one of my most important points is that those are the ones voting in the future. Thank you.
Oh, hey, I believe. Thank you, Ruby. I hope you can hear me. I am pretty loud. But I believe we have one more thing something short from our first speaker. Angelia had something to add, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Especially thank you to the teachers. I really enjoyed this session.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this up. Can I turn this off?
Yeah.
Woo!
Why is your power button doesn't
Okay, let's give another round of applause for our speakers. There are a few things left to do. Of course, there will be some closing words from myself. I'm sure Jenny will want to say something, and if not, I just threw her on the spot. I'm kind of sorry. But, and then we'll also have some closing words, I'm sure, from some other people. But first, I believe there's two things we need to do. One would be a photo, it would be nice to get a photo. Another would be the certificates. We've got a vote group certificates to hand out. Let's start with a photo. Photo again? All right. So one thing I want to check with everyone, before we all stand up, start moving. Are we okay with doing the photo masks off? Or is everyone sitting there thinking, no, please, my face must remain hidden? Does anyone take issue with the whole mask off thing? Wait, did someone say yes? Be loud, it's public speaking. Anyone? We do want them up. Okay, so far no one said no. 3, 2, 1, good. Everybody up here, all the students up here, and Jenny, and me. I'm already up here though. I will ask tallest at the back, please. Let's try and organize that way. Oh. All right, I'll just hide. I'll try and go to the side. Students are important, not me. Students go to the middle, not me. Get close together.
That's a massive
Just
jump.
go ahead. You guys are gonna come to the back here. You guys can stand beside me. I mean, it would be nice that your face is showing, but I can't. That's not a joke we should make, by the way. Okay. So, I'll get Alan, Justin, come on in. Be careful with that laptop. Now, everyone, squish in. I can see a big gap between Bernie and Teresa. I can see more of a gap there. Yes, no. So here's how we're going to do this so we're not all looking at different places. We are going to start on the right side of the room and work our way over. So those who have cameras on the left, you don't have to lift them up yet. So we're going to start on the right side of the room over there with the gentleman holding the phone. He's got the yellow coating on his jacket. We're start there. Look at him. Smile. All right, now we're going to go to the person in the front row here. Are you ready to get your picture? Okay. Now, the lady with the big mask with the big phone. Okay. Oh. Let's go to the gentleman with the jean jacket with the iPhone. Smile. All right, the person's holding your phone over their head. Big phone behind Catherine. Oh, Alan? Yeah. Go to trees now. I'll go up on the tips of my toes. All right, well, everyone look at Catherine. Everyone make sure if you can't see Catherine's lens, you're on the right spot. Okay. Which other? Okay, so we got the person. Oh, he's got all right. One at the back. Yeah. All right. We got one more on the. Oh, we got one in the middle here by. Oh. Okay. Yeah, all right. There we go.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. Any more? Okay. We'll sit up and take pictures. Everybody look in random directions. Okay. Does anyone want to do a ridiculous picture?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. We are not picking cameras, so if you want the picture, you better just take it. We're all going to look in different directions. Do something stupid. Oh. Yeah. That's upside down, not that. All right. Thank you all very much. So I'll get. Are there anyone else who needs a picture? All right. What's your name, sir? Clarence. Pleasure to meet you, Clarence. Say your name, Clarence. All right, Clarence. I'll get your name right here. Oh, yes, right there. Okay. All right. So we're going to all there.
Are you sure? Oh my God. Okay.
All right, back to your seats. Go. Back to your seats. Go, quick. Why do you keep saying that? You're not wrong, but it's not what I'm expecting students to do. Oh, my God. the last thing we'll do is the certificate. So let's do closing remarks first. Is that okay with everyone? Does that make sense to you? Okay. So I'll say up closing remarks, and then do you want to say something as well? Okay. So I would like to thank all my students. I have a tremendous amount of fun teaching, particularly when I have people who respond to the things I'm saying, laugh at my stupid jokes, or at the very least make stupid jokes about me. Those are three things that make teaching more fun than anything for me. And I love what I do because of the kids that I work with. I've had classes that leave me furious, confused, or sad. But the classes I have in here have been a lot of fun. They've been the opposite of those things for me. They keep me entertained, they keep me thinking, and they keep me learning. The number one thing that makes me a better speaker is the people that I teach. And I've become a much better speaker for teaching the people I've taught here. But I will make a request. You could almost call this homework.
Homework over spring break.
Yes, I am. And that is to please, you don't have to write a speech for me. I would love it. If you come up with a story, that'd be awesome. But please keep thinking about speaking. Because you'll notice when you talk to me before, after, near the class, that I still do a lot of weird things with my face. My voice changes significantly. And I use my hands and eyes and even eyebrows to communicate information because public speaking is not just something we do in front of a group of, dare I say, beautiful people. We also do it one-on-one when we're speaking to individuals. So please keep speaking. That would be my closing remark. I'll give Jenny the floor. Let's give Jenny a big round of applause. She deserves this as well. So, thank you.
10 weeks ago, beginning of January, we began this term. Now, 10 weeks after, we've given our 10th speech and our final showcase. There's a saying, greatness happens when we stand on the shoulders of giants. Now, who are the giants? Comes in threefold. First, there are the teachers, Aaron, myself, and people who work behind the scenes like Catherine, Christine, and Joe. They make the classes happen. They provide so that you have a venue to come to improve your public speaking skills and be confident. The second giant are your parents. Without the support and the love of your parents, you will not have the opportunity to practice your public speaking on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and have a venue to have a voice. The third giant is you. Because we need courage. We need courage to step outside of our comfort zone. We need courage to be able to stand up front and speak to a group of strangers. We need courage to have a voice, to be able to speak up, and to be not afraid of making mistakes. Now, 10 weeks later, you are here because you are the giant of yourself. You've taken the decision to improve your public speaking skills. Now, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to come back to another term. I hope you will continue to challenge yourself, continue to step outside your comfort zone, and be the giant in your life. Because we all have the potential to reach greatness. I look forward to having the opportunity to teach and work with each and every one of you. To my students, you have come so far, and I look forward to meeting you all again after school.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'm saying who's going to hand over. Yeah.
大家好，今天我觉得我站在这里好像是以一个老母亲的这种姿态来说，因为真的我这边大部分的孩子都是已经跟我们进行了2年多的练习，所以第一，我真的看到孩子今天真的是特别精彩。我觉得没有一个是就是说有失网传的比赛，每个都是高水平的展示。我能够看到，就是说我们最早19年底的时候，那个像个小公主一样萌萌的 Frisa， 还有比 Frisa 更小一点的 Tori， 那么小不点一点点开始演讲。那到今天，我觉得真是看到了时间的力量，然后就是 Aaron 老师经常说的 practice makes perfect。我觉得今天真是高水平的展示，特别高兴。所以呢，我就想说，对今天就说我们能遇到这个场地，真的是很费周折，因为就是限聚令一取消嘛，我和柯老师、周校长就开始忙着就是到处找场地。
supposed to go is we'll give this certificates to our respective students, I think,
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens. So we'll both be up here. I'm left-handed, so is it okay if I'm going to stand here so that I can get hold on my left? You stand on the right. Are you right-handed? Yeah. So when your name gets called, you will go to your teacher. And if you don't know who that is at this point, I can't help you. So, and we do look fairly distinct. So, if you're really confused, if you're running in class on Friday, you're a person with long hair. You're in class on Saturday, you're short hair. So, I don't know who's first. It's Greek, so we'll get the certificates handed to us, and then you'll stand to one side of your teacher. They will hold half of it. It's very heavy, so you need to hold the other half. And then you'll have your picture taken. I don't want to get too crazy with pictures. If a parent would like to take pictures, definitely you can come to the middle. We're just going to be focusing on Catherine's camera. You will get your version, but if you want to come to the middle, you don't have time to stop every single time for a half dozen pictures. Seem reasonable? Excellent. Oh, yes. Mask on. So we can project our voice properly while holding things.
在就是在观察这个正式之前呢，我还有一句话要跟你说，我真的正式走了，还有一个微观卡，那就是这一学期是结束了每个人在课堂上的表现，那我们的老师呢都是有一个非常详细的记录，那很多的这5个步骤啊，有一个就是你课前有没有准备啊，有没有知道，然后课堂上的参与程度，还有一个我们的演讲的内容是怎么样的演讲的表达，还有这种 method， 最后还有一个 attitude， 然后有老师今天写下来的词语，所以呢这个希望大家回去都看一下，因为我觉得我今天讲和每个孩子来合影，因为我就跟他们2年多，都马上level 9 level 10，马上就毕业了。Okay, next is Greek.
Let's look at Greek time.
因为这 Greek 虽然这一期才加入，但是真的它是进入特别的。I think
we'll be alternating positions. Cool.
Yes,
It's the weight of responsibility.
Congratulations.
I want to make sure, just so we know, when we give people a round of applause, what will happen is as more people come, the applause will turn into, that's so sad. No, we've got to clap properly when everyone comes up. Good. Just clarify.
The second certificate goes to the most enthusiastic individual in the class. Let's welcome up Carly Zubel. Our third certificate goes to the most prepared individual. Let's welcome up Jeffrey Long. Congratulations. Our fourth certificate goes to the best use of body language. Let's welcome up Bernie Shu. Woo! Let's continue to clap those hands. Congratulations.
but that generally makes me laugh. So thank you very much, Troy. Come on, give me a round of applause. It's very heavy. I need to move it out. You want funny faces? You asked. All right. Well done, Roy. Thank you. All right. Next, most diligent. Corrine, come on up. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, Corrine. You see my hands fully. I'm carrying all the weight still. All right. Thank you, Corey. All right. Next is Teresa. Why don't you supposed to games? Give a round of applause. Are we synchronized? A little more. Just use your foot a little more. I don't know. All right. Justin, most diligent, he was also one of our volunteers. Come on up, Justin. Give him a round of applause. Step right up, step right. Okay, there we go. Smile again. So fast. All right, you're good to go? It's true. Some of these kids have been working for like 2 years.
I've one very important certificate to present to the most diligent individual, Joey Liu. Congratulations! Are you able to show? Okay. Congratulations!
Now, this is someone who brought attention to the fact that I have slightly hairy hands. Alan Saw. He brought a lot of confidence up here. Most second round of Alan. It's, yeah, thoroughly heavy. Yeah, at least it's not fur, yeah. Thank you, Alan. So, I feel like I need to give context. I told the class one story of a 7-year-old telling me I had fur on my hands, and they will not let me live it down. All right, up next we have Jasper. Prepare. Where is Jasper? Where are you? There you are, Jasper. Come on up. All right, step to my left, sir. Oh, I know. The label. All right. Thank you very much, Jasper. Up next we have Dave. Come on up, Dave. We're going to applause. All right. Stay with me. All right. Tolly, come on, our MC, the next ceremony. Give her a round of applause. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, one student is away, but let's give them a round of applause anyway. That pretty much takes us to the end. It was a ton of fun. I'm proud of what I've seen. And unless, is there anything else we want to add? Anyone? No? In general, I'll say thank you very much for coming out. It's fantastic to see people supporting their kids and doing something. Public speaking is hard. And I make lots of jokes, but I will say I am legitimately impressed. Because when I was their age, I was very different. I had hair as long as some of the girls in here, and I was absolutely terrified of speaking to really one person, let alone a group of all of them. So I'm impressed, I'm proud. Thank you so much. Get out of here. Go on spring break. Go on wild adventures and tell me about it then after the break.
小心电脑，把电脑收一下。谢谢。啊，我看一下啊。谢谢，帮我们的帮一下吧，谢谢。